So today we're here with Ryan Gillespie of Sol Mobil, solar farms. He'll tell you more about that in a minute. I'm Alan Shelton. I work here at Mixer. We wanted to mark this occasion because Ryan is getting ready to take a big trip to France. It's a really exciting time for him and what he's doing, and we just want to make sure that we can tell you about it.
I'm going on what's called the Sun Trip Tour. It's put on by a group of people called the Sun Trip Organization. And it's a 2-week-long solar e-bike tour through the Alps in southern France, Italy, and Switzerland. The goal of the trip is to take the entire 2-week tour only on solar power without recharging from the main grid at all.
Now, where are you starting and ending, and what are the times?
So on July 6th to 20th is when our tour goes, and we start in Le Puy-en-Velay, which is in southern France. It's on the Camino de Santiago route. We go north through the Central Massif range, and then we're going to right into the Alps. We're going to be going, stopping over by Lake Geneva, and then going through some of the Alpine passes. Optional challenges to do the Little Saint Bernard and the Great Saint Bernard Pass, as well as the Col de Viseron, the Col de Finestre. Last time I went 2 years ago. I went over there to learn about the future of electric bikes because the market over there is 10 to 15 years advanced from the US.
So you're talking about they're a little more advanced than we are in the States. Tell us what your company does.
Sol Mobil LLC is a company devoted to electric bike customizations and repairs. So a lot of people have an e-bike that maybe could use a little bit more power, they want a bigger battery, or maybe they want some solar panels on it. And I'm able to actually meet that request.
You're also building your own frames.
So the ultimate goal of Sol Mobil is to be more than a repair shop. I've been developing what I call natural fiber bike frames. So this is actually my first prototype cargo e-bike. I call it natural fiber. It's got a bamboo core and a hemp fiber on the outside. So together it kind of maximizes the benefits of bamboo and minimizes its weakness along the long grain by wrapping it. I've been developing this bike for about a year, and I actually built some of the key components at Mixer. So from when I started the frame, I designed it here. I built the frame fixtures here that set the geometry for it, and I also machined the dropouts here. So without Mixer, I don't think I would be able to develop this bike the way that I wanted to.
Now, you were telling me earlier about you have figured out how to get this bike through TSA checkpoints, get this as checked baggage. All of this is going to go through checked baggage on the way to France. And you told me some things that you did specifically to be within the rules. What were those things?
So, normal e-bikes are not allowed on an airplane, mostly just because of the battery. The battery is too big and not necessarily safe to put in the luggage hold or carry-on baggage for an airplane. So my bike is unique in that the entire bike packs down into a single bike box, which is granted a little heavy. I have my 2 bags here, and then the funny part is I have a battery pack manufactured by Grid Technologies. It's called the LIGO battery module, and it's special because it breaks apart into sub-packs for airline travel. So I have 6 sub-packs that together they form around about a 600 watt-hour battery pack. But when I disconnect them, each module is 98 watt-hours. I can put them in my carry-on and actually go through TSA security. In fact, I'll have an unlimited amount of batteries under the 100 watt-hour.
100 watt-hour limit. Yeah, so you're right there.
So really, this is the only way that you can travel with quick rundown of components on my bike. So I started out with a custom frame that I built in my workshop, which is actually about a quarter mile down the street from Mixer. So it's really great to come here, take a break, and where there's people. And so I built the frame, and then it's got what's called a direct drive hub motor in the back. It's a 9 continents hub motor, and then I've got what's called a phase runner motor controller. It's I think really advanced FOC based motor controller. I've got a cycle analyst here, which is reading all the data from this controller, and then actually logging back to what's called the cycle analog with GPS. So this, all of my trip data is being saved to my data logger for later analysis, or I can check it out, I can learn from that, I can optimize my travel strategy based on how the bike is performing. I can look at the solar power curve, I can look at how much power I use, how much regen I get, how much pedal force I put in the bike. All of that is really nicely visible from the stop first week after I finish with the trip. When I pedal, I have an amount of power that is helping me out that I select from this switch up here. So if I want to have 200 watts pedal assist, I just click the button. If I want to have 800 watts pedal assist, I just click the button. And the thing that's unique about this bike, obviously, is the solar panels. So we've run down the components on a regular e-bike. The addition to a regular e-bike that enables solar travel is two things. It's the solar panels, and it's also the solar charge controller. So I have 3 panels mounted here. They're each 50 watts, and I have them running through what's called a Jenison solar charge controller. It's a boost controller that takes voltage from any panel from 5 to 40 volts and actually transforms it into 42 volts or 41.7 volts, which is actually the amount of voltage it takes to fully charge my battery. It functions at about 97 to 99% efficiency. It's higher efficiency than a regular solar setup because you're doing direct charge direct to a lithium battery. So these 3 panels, it's about 150 watts. This is enough for the tour. I like to have 2 panels on here when I commute to work. You can get about 20 to 25 miles per day if you just have these 2 panels and you're using a lot of power. And then I also have a 4th panel that goes on the front of the bike that if I feel like I need more power, it mounts back here. I can take it off, put it up there, and I have 4 panels, which is 200 watts.
You're also taking all your food, your luggage, and packed in this bike.
Yes.
And how much is all that going to weigh when you take off down the road?
By my calculations, the bike itself with the solar weighs about 80 pounds, and then I'm going to probably have about 30 to 40 pounds in each box. So all said, 80 pounds plus.
130.
Yeah, 130 pounds plus me, which is like about double that. So the challenge to myself personally was to do a solar bike that doesn't require a trailer, that doesn't require a trike. Those are really specialized bike implements that not everybody has. So I wanted to make a solar bike out of a frame style that is a little bit more approachable than some of the more exotic things I saw last time I was on the Sun Trip. I mean, it's incredible what these people are figuring out in order to tour on solar power. I mean,
So you may come back with some new ideas.
absolutely. I actually sketched this entire bike out when I was sitting in a hotel room in southern France after my trip 2 years ago, and I've been working on it ever since. I mean, I built the frame last year, I've been developing it since then, writing it, refining it. It's still not even finished, but hey, I got to get it to a point where it works. So at this point now, it's solar charging, it's working, it's reliable. I can take it on a trip all day, it doesn't break down. But I've learned a lot being a part of the Sun Trip organization, and I wish to continue it. I want to try to plan some more solar tours in the States in the future.
Excellent. And we're going to tag Sol Mobil. We're going to tag Sun Tour, things so people can find more information about all those things you talked about. Hope you have a safe trip. And will we be able to follow you while you're on your trip?
Yes, everybody should follow my Instagram. It's called Sol Mobil EVs. SolMobilEVs.
All right.
That's my Instagram tag. That's where I'm going to be chronicling our adventure when I can. And it's meant to be shared.
All right.
Everybody gets to go on solar bike touring.
All right, we'll get all those tags in there so people can follow you. Thanks for coming in today.
Well, thanks very much for having me, Alan, and
Yeah.
for all the help all the last year when I've developing this bike.
Absolutely.
It's been a lot.
All right.
It's been a lot.
Good luck.
Thanks.
All right.